It's disturbing video of a deputy slapping a teen in the face 4 times. The Sandoval County Sheriff's Office has since fired Deputy Fred Switzer.
We're not going to tolerate abuse of the public in that manner.
Let's watch the video from the beginning. You see deputies buckling up the teen who's handcuffed as they prepare to drive him back after a court appearance. There's no audio and we've blurred the teen's face, but it appears he mouths off to Switzer, then spits at him. That's when Switzer climbs into the back seat and slaps him. In the criminal complaint, the teen admits to spitting. He says Switzer slapped him hard.
That 8-year veteran of the Sandoval County Sheriff's Department in New Mexico has now been charged with battery. He could face 6 months in jail. Back with Sam on Hita, Kurt, and Shagun, and joining us, John Cardillo, former NYPD officer, host of the syndicated radio program John Cardillo Show. Now, John, the teen spit on that deputy before this whole episode took place. Does that matter? Does that in any way figure into how you evaluate what this guy did?
No, I mean, this guy was wrong, right? He spit, apparently what I read, the kid spit on his car because he knew it was a new police car. But this deputy was, I mean, come on, the kid is seatbelted in. And we'll give him that, right? It wasn't a Freddie Gray case. At least he used the seatbelt. But to jump in the car and start smacking the kid around like that's pretty inexcusable.
And to be fair, he wasn't just seatbelted. This is for the purpose of my audience. I want the viewers to understand, according to the criminal complaint, the teen was, quote, secured with leg shackles, belly chain, and handcuffs at all times. And yet, Sam, still this sheriff or deputy did not feel he could contain a teenager in shackles?
That's the problem, Dr. Drew, is he took the law into his own hands, literally. And listen, I get it. You get spit on or your car spit on and you want to react, but he's a police officer. He's supposed to de-escalate the situation. I try and think about my sister's a nurse, and she gets hit, she gets spit on, but does she hit the patient back? Does she spit on the patient back? So it's absolutely unacceptable. Right.
But Shagun, you told my producers that this story reminds you of another story.
Right. On our show, we talked about that case where the gentleman had his wallet robbed and he took his belt off and he beat. You remember he beat the 13-year-old kid?
Yes.
And I was in favor of that type of justice because and here we're showing video of it, of where he said, let me take you home, let me report you to your mom, and the kid wouldn't do it. And the guy said, listen, if you're going to be acting this way, I'm going to show you what happens when you do. A lot of people were upset about it. I was in favor for it. The difference is that guy's not a police officer, and that kid's not shackled in the back of a car.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's totally unacceptable. I mean, sure, the kid should not have spit on the officer, but that is an assault and battery. And by the way, I read that this was a 12-year-old kid, not even a teenager.
Wow.
And he's so small, he's tied into the seat, he has handcuffs on, he posed no threat to himself, to the officer, to anybody. And I want to say kudos to this police department for swiftly investigating what happened here, and they terminated him. And we don't see that frequently, so kudos to them.
Well, you know, a professional can't do everything he wants. As a police officer, you just can't punch people or handcuff, as much as the little kid deserved probably being slapped around a little. But let's look at it in a different way here. This kid's potentially committed a crime by spitting on the car or spitting on the cop, which is a battery itself. So what we're going to do, put him in jail for a couple years, put him through the juvenile system. You know,
so you're saying rather than take charge,
I'm saying that there are problems both ways. You can't hit the kid because you're a professional and you can't do that. You just can't. You've given up that right when you became a police officer. But the system that we have somehow blows these things far, far out of proportion.
Got it.
This kid's going to carry that, could potentially carry a conviction for something like that around his neck as an anchor for the rest of his life. Are we really doing him a favor?
So,
or maybe there's something to be said for the kind of ancient justice.